Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how to make your horse love the so-called spooky tarp. So the first thing you do is you lay the tarp flat. Now you're going to have to anchor it down using like some stakes and all, and so they don't trip on it because that can become a disaster. So here what I do is I start out lunging Anna. I'm working with Anna today, and I start lunging her around where she can keep an eye on the tarp and be near it, and also keep her moving her feet so she doesn't get afraid and run into me. Now, as you can see, she's very scared. She's going very fast when she passes by the tarp. So I get her hindquarters and I turn her the other direction because the other side means another horse. So I just keep lunging her and yielding her hindquarters, and now I walk her up to the tarp and I want her to smell it. I want her to think about it and digest what's going on around this. Now, the concept we're going with is that we're working them very hard, away from the tarp, and whenever they're near the tarp or on the tarp, we make them rest. And she's like, no, I don't want to do this. And so I go back out there and I start lunging her again because she's not cooperating and she's not resting. And right there, she kind of got really fast and spooked at it a little bit. And I just let that happen. I just totally ignore that, like right there. And I just keep lunging her. Just make sure she's with you though. So I keep lunging her. I yield her hindquarters right there and walk her up to the tarp again and let her rest. She's still not sure about it, but it's okay for her to spook at it. I'm like totally fine. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right there. Now, different horses react differently to different situations, and right there, as you can see, I pulled a little bit and then released when she stepped forward. She's one of those horses that are okay with that. And right then, I'm backing her up and making her work away from the tarp. And so I keep lunging her and lunging her and lunging her, and then I yield her hindquarters, walk her up to the tarp, and let her rest again. I want her to keep thinking about it, that every time she's around the tarp, it's a resting area. And every time she's away from the tarp, she has to work her tail off. And so my leg is kind of bent, and I'm turning away from her, showing that I am totally chill on this. I can rest my hindquarters, which I don't really have any, but I can chill like this, and I'm kind of breathing right then and licking my own lips, trying to show with my body language that I'm like so chill on the tarp that she can be on the tarp too. And so she's like not sure, so I kept lunging her, and she's like really scared every time she's really close to it. So I just keep working her on that area. And and then now I'm walking her back to the tarp after lunging her for a time. She's still not sure about it, but I kind of let her think about it. As you can see, she'll drop her head and look at it. I let her study it, and I'm bending my leg, resting my little leg, resting my foot. And I'm keeping an eye on her, but at the same time, releasing the pressure. She's kind of like spooking at it because the wind is blowing. It's hilarious. And I was just goofing off because I thought it was kind of funny how she was spooking at it. As long as she's away from me, I can goof off, you know. So she keeps spooking at it, and I let her spook, as long as she doesn't run over me, which I'm totally fine with her spooking away from me. And so she keeps like spooking, and so I think, okay, so let's go back to working, and let's go away from the tarp. You can think about that, what we just did. And so I keep lunging her, yield her hindquarters, and turn her the other direction. Now right here, I keep sending her. I'm making her yield her hindquarters and lunge, but like do a lunge in a semicircle where she actually has to go beside the tarp. And so it makes it like switch it up, think about me, think about the tarp, listen to what I say, and so it's just making it a little bit more interesting. And then now I'm resting her, letting her rest again. She's still not sure about it, but she's still like at least next to it. So, and I'm resting my leg, and I'm breathing. So I kept lunging her again, and then bring her back in, let her think about it. I'm not sure about this. She's, as you can see, she's very close to it, and she took a step. There we go. That's what I wanted. And I lunge her and bring her back in. Now, right now, I'm moving to a different side. I want her to see that it doesn't matter where you are, the tarp isn't going to hurt you. Now, did you see how she ran really quickly right then? That's because she's like, what? It's a totally new thing. It's not a new thing. That's what I'm trying to show her. Doesn't matter where you are, the tarp isn't going to hurt you. So I send her off in a different direction. Change it up because different side means different horse. And see, she keeps reacting. And when she cuts you off, like pushes into you, instead of making a good circle where the radius is the same, you can bring your stick up and kind of push her away for some safety, you know. And so I bring her back. And I rub her. I try to desensitize her whenever I can. Now, what I'm showing you is that how I got to the other side. I would lunge her and walk at the same time. So that's how I got there. And I started lunging her over there because same thing, I don't want her to think that only one side of the tarp isn't scary. It's only like everywhere you go, the tarp isn't going to hurt you. Now I'm desensitizing her near the tarp. Now you'll see that she gets closer and closer. So I'm bringing her back from another lunging session. And I'm desensitizing her, backing her away. I went lunging her, and then I started bringing her back in. Yield her hindquarters. And lunge her, bring her back in, like right now. But now I'm desensitizing her. That's what you will always want to do because I'm rubbing her, making her feel like it's home. And this is how you make your horse love the tarp. The tarp means rest. The tarp means you can chill and you get loved on. Does not mean you're going to get your tail cut off because we're going to be working. Now she's like thinking about it. You can see she's very close to it compared to the beginning. Now I'm desensitizing her after another lunging and working her, moving her feet forwards, backwards, left and right. So I'm letting her kind of chill, and the tarp is, I'm trying to encourage her to come out. The tarp is a place of rest. This is a comfortable place to be. And I'm keep desensitizing her, rubbing her, making her know that I'm not going to hurt her, I'm not going to make her move. As long as she's on the tarp or next to it, then she's good. Good. And then I backed her up and went to lunge again. So I switched sides again. I lunged her over here, and then I brought her back, and she starts walking on it. She does a very good job. And I'm only doing a pull release method because it works with her. You see she's kind of like, there we are. And I kind of release. Yeah, I'll try. If it starts eating me, I'll run away. Because remember, the flight response is their first thinking. They don't really think, they just start running away. So that's why we lunge them, to make them move their feet, but in the direction we want them to go. So she starts walking on it, and she's not really sure, so she only has like 2 hooves on it. So I'm kind of a little upset, so I'm trying to yield her hindquarters where her hooves turn around and get onto it, but she's still not sure, and so she starts backing away. And then I go back to lunging her again because I'm like, you're not confident enough to walk on this, so we're gonna work. And I bring her back over and do the pull release. Notice how close she is, and now she's like on it compared to in the beginning. She just started lunging over and working, and then now this is a place of rest. So when she got off of it, I started lunging her again. Because as soon as she's off that tarp, we're working. And that's what I want her to think. I want her to think the tarp is a place of rest. And so right then, she's resting, and then I'm like, oh, you're going off? All right, let's lunge. So we start lunging again, and then she comes back in after lunging, and she's still not sure, but she starts walking on it again. Now she's like, I'm not getting off this. So she starts standing still and acting like a good girl. And so I start rubbing her and desensitizing her. This is a place of rest. So this is the note I'm going to end on because she did a very good job. Now I'm going to, every once in a while, keep working on her with it and make her remember that the tarp is still a place of rest. I'm not going to work you on it, but every once in a while I will walk you on it and like move your feet, but not just like I would out on the grass. So there you have it. That's how you make your horse love the so-called spooky tarp. Now it's not so spooky. Now she's standing and so chill. Thank you for watching. Bye.